Hi, my name is Michael Ramirez, and I'll be doing an informative speech on rising sea levels in the Arctic. The sea level has risen already a significant amount throughout the Arctic. The Bering Sea and Siberian seas have recorded sea level changes from the 1950s through the 1990s. Preliminary analysis has shown that over this 50-year period, many of these stations have a positive trend up in sea level. This sea level data was collected by the Arctic and Antarctic Research Institution, also known as the AARI, in St. Petersburg, Russia. Workshop participants concluded that sea levels will rise, storms will be stronger and more frequent, and coastal communities now struggling with erosion will see coastline retreat accelerate. There's evidence of the recent warming of the Arctic provided by records of rising temperatures, melting glaciers, melting sea ice, and permafrost. And the rising sea levels provide clear evidence of a warming trend as a whole. The Intergovernmental Panel of the Climate Change, IPCC, has concluded that the sea level will rise in the 20th century was in the 0.1 to 0.2 centimeter per year range. The winter temperature has increased 3.4 degrees Celsius in the past 50 years. Also, the winter temperature is rising more rapidly than the summer temperature. In the not-so-distant future, scientists predict that the Arctic will be largely ice-free, and it appears this will happen sooner rather than later. Observations suggest that precipitation may have increased 8% across the Arctic over the past 100 years. It also suggests that the rain now falls mainly in the winter rather than the spring or autumn. Scientists have many different ways to predict the Arctic sea ice decline. Albedo is one way it measures how well the Earth's surface reflects sunlight. Snow-covered sea ice has an 85%, it reflects 85% of sunlight, which that's high for albedo. But open water revealed as ice melts is darker, absorbs more, reflecting at only 7%. This means the less sunlight is reflected, the more heat the planet absorbs. Reflective sea ice can in turn speed up the surface of warming, which is known as positive feedback. The melting Greenland ice sheet raises sea levels as well. In fact, the loss of reflective sea ice is a part of the reason the Arctic temperature has risen 3 times faster than the global average in recent decades. This effect, known as the Arctic amplification, has consequences for big land ice also. When land ice melts, it adds fresh water to the ocean, causing sea levels to rise. Satellite data suggests over the last 20 years, the Greenland ice sheet has lost 140 billion tons of ice per year. In turn, it has raised sea levels by about 7.8 millimeters, 12% of total sea level rise in time. The last and probably the most significant contribution is the thawing of permafrost. It amplifies warming. Scientists are concerned carbon dioxide and methane released from the carbon-rich permafrost is causing additional warming by adding to greenhouse gases that are already in the atmosphere.